Hi friends, it's Deanna here today, and today we're working on the hair care shower cap and wrap. We are super excited about this pattern. It's super quick, super cute. Let's get to it. Alright, so we're gonna start with the sleep cap slash shower cap. I am gonna make mine with this is a cotton woven fabric, and then this is a waterproof fabric that I'm going to use because I want it to make it so that I can use it for when I take a shower and stuff, because I do not wash my hair every time I take a shower. So I'm gonna go ahead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these fabrics right sides together. So my main fabric's face up, my liner is face down on top. And you can use waterproof fabric for it. You can use silk to help your hair as you're sleeping at night. What we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way around, and we're going to leave a gap, 1 to 2 inch gap, where we're going to turn the whole thing around. So I'm going to go ahead and finish pinning, and then we'll go sew it on our sewing machine. This is going to be super quick and super cute. Alright, so that was sewn on a 3/8 seam allowance. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through that gap and turn it. And then we're going to steam it, folding that allowance right here in, so that when we top stitch, we'll end up getting that tucked in. But before we do that, I'm going to clip it right here. Before we top stitch that closed, we're going to make a casing for our elastic. So let me go ahead and steam this. Be careful with your waterproof liner if you're using a waterproof liner. You don't want to melt it. Alright, so now I'm going to go around the whole thing at a 3/4 inch seam allowance, all the way around, even on that gap, but don't top stitch that gap closed yet, because we're going to fit our elastic through there. So 3/4 sleeve away from the edge. We're going all the way around. Now I'm going to grab my elastic, and right here where I have that gap, I'm going to fit my elastic through and go all the way around. Once we come out here at the other side, we're gonna grab them together, and I'm gonna go over to my machine and do a zigzag stitch here, a zigzag stitch them together, and then I'll tuck them in, fold that seam allowance down again, and top stitch that seam allowance, and we'll be done. All right, let's move on to our hair wrap. And what I'm gonna do is I am actually making my hair wrap out of cotton lycra, because I feel like with my hair, this kind of drying method works best. But you could use like even an old towel, or you can buy that fabric at the store as well, or whatever you want to use that you like to use for drying your hair. So we're gonna put the two pieces right sides together on top of each other, and I'm gonna sew around the crown of the piece all the way around using a any kind of stretch stitch. If you're using, obviously if you're using a knit stretch fabric for this, you want to use a knit a stretch stitch. And we're gonna sew all the way down, and then at this curve right here, we're gonna sew down and around this little edge right here at the end. So let's do that. I'm going to use my serger for that sewing all the way. All right, now we're gonna grab our elastic, and we're gonna place it at the edge of the end of that tail, and we're gonna baste it right on there. So I'm going to go ahead and baste it. And then we're going to go around the whole thing and baste down or hem our wrap, all those raw edges all the way down. I'm going to use my cover stitch, but you can use any kind of stitch on your sewing machine or whatever you do for your hem. All right, once we've hemmed the whole thing, we've got this little strap right here. We're gonna add a button right at the top. Here's my button, and I'm just gonna stitch my button. That way when I wrap my hair around it, I can use the button and use my elastic and put it around my button to hold my cap on. And then we'll be done. So I'm gonna go ahead and stitch my button on. And actually I like to do it with needle and thread. I kind of find it soothing, but you know, if you have your sewing machine set to do a button, obviously you can do that. So let's do that. And I forgot to mention it, we're stitching it 3/4 inch away from the hemmed edge. So the hem edge, we're gonna put it 3/4 inch away from there. So let's do it. All right, so we are done. Now we just need to trim all those little pieces of thread that are always in every single project I make and do. Here is my button. I went with a fun color just because. So there it is, and we are all done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything that I did. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Come find us on Facebook and Instagram so you can see what everybody else is making and you can be inspired. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time.